Hello and welcome to our presentation on an analysis on Adobe's scripting language, ActionScript. First, let us look at our research team, which comprises of 6 members. Before commencing, I think it is best we go into a bit of history on ActionScript.
ActionScript is a scripting language based on ECMA script. It is used primarily for the development of websites and software using the Adobe. Originally developed by Macromedia, the language is now owned by Adobe. Early Flash developers could attach simple command called an action to a button or a frame. The set of actions was basic navigation controls with commands such as play, stop, get URL, and go to and play. With the release of Flash 4 in 1999, this simple set of actions became a small scripting language. New capabilities introduced for Flash 4 include variables, expressions, operators, if statements, and loops. ActionScript was initially designed for controlling simple 2D vector animation made in Adobe Flash. Later versions added functionality allowing for the creation of web-based games and rich internet applications with streaming media. There are different types of data containers in ActionScript. The most known type is variables. ActionScript has come a long way from its initial implementation in a little application called Future Splash. Flash has grown and become a standard on the web. ActionScript has evolved beyond a traditional scripting language and has become a fully developing language.
Moving on to the evolution, ActionScript 1.0 came in 2000 September with Flash 5. This was the first version of ActionScript which came with the influences from JavaScript and ECMA. With the next release of Flash Player 6, the ActionScript language remained unchanged, but there were only minor changes such as the addition of switch statement and the strict equality operator. ActionScript 1.0 uses a special object that serves as a prototype for a class and objects. Then came ActionScript 2.0 in the year 2003 September with Flash MX 2004 and corresponding player Flash Player 7. This featured compile time type checking and class-based syntax, which helps the developers to specify type by adding a type annotation so that type mismatch errors could be found in compile time. Then came ActionScript 3.0 in June 2006 with Adobe Flex and the corresponding player Flash Player 9. With fundamental restructuring of a language, so much so that it uses an entirely different virtual machine. It contains 2 virtual machines, AVM1 for code written ActionScript 1.0 and 2, and AVM2 for code written ActionScript 3.0. This has limited support for hardware acceleration.
Moving on to the features of ActionScript. ActionScript consists of mainly 2 features, one being the core language, which consists of the programming language as a whole, and the second being the Flash Player API, which is made up of classes that represent and provide access to Flash Player specific functionality. Looking at the main language improvements in ActionScript 3.0, runtime exceptions, the error handling for runtime exceptions was increased, which made debugging very much easier. Another improvement was runtime types. In previous versions, type annotations were primarily an aid for developers, but at runtime all values were dynamically typed. In ActionScript 3.0, type information is preserved at runtime and utilized for a number of purposes. Another main inclusion in ActionScript 3.0 was the inclusion of sealed classes. A sealed class basically possesses only the fixed set of properties and methods that were defined at compile time. Additional properties and methods cannot be added. This helps for strict compile time checking which helps in improving the quality of the language. Method closures were also included, which helped improve the event handling mechanism in ActionScript. Another inclusion was ECMA script for XML. This was basically a fluent set of language constructs for manipulating XML. Regular expressions and namespaces were also added into the newer version of ActionScript, along with new primitive types such as int and uint, which is basically known as the unsigned integer. These were an addition to the already existing number type in ActionScript 2.0. When looking at the main Flash Player API improvements, DOM3 event model was introduced in ActionScript 3.0. This event model provides a standard way of generating and handling event messages so that objects within applications can interact and communicate, maintaining state and responding to change. DisplayList API, which is an API which consists of a revamped set of classes for working with the visual primitives in Flash, was also introduced. This consisted of some new classes such as the sprite class and the shape class, which was a raw vector shape class.
Adobe had four main goals for the newer version of ActionScript. They were the improvement in safety, simplicity, performance, and compatibility. When we consider safety, the language supports type safety to developers can write unambiguous, easily maintainable code. In simplicity, the language is intuitive enough for developers to be able to read and write programs without constantly consulting a reference manual. Performance, the language enables developers to write complex programs that perform efficiently and responsively. Compatibility, the language provides a short backward and forward compatibility path and a significant overlap with industry standards.
Next, let us look at the main uses of ActionScript. As we know, ActionScript was mainly developed to handle 2D applications, but as it evolved in time, its main purpose shifted to creating rich internet applications. And since it's graphical, it's also used to create graphical and interactive software applications as well as rich gaming applications. It is also used for a few database applications as well as basic robotics. In addition, anything that targets the Flash player is advised to use ActionScript for coding. ActionScript is not advised in certain situations. When it comes to large database applications which handle a lot of data, ActionScript cannot support it. Then, since ActionScript uses more of the Flash player, it's relatively slow in loading. Hence, multitasking is not generally a plus point of ActionScript. Hence, a program or application which has a lot of multitasking is not advised to use ActionScript. Applications for supercomputers are also not advised to use ActionScript. Looking at the future of ActionScript, since ActionScript 3.0 is relatively new since it came in 2006, plans for a newer version is not yet discussed. Although, since it was derived from ECMA script is releasing a latest version, so most probably most of the features in ECMA script's newer version could also be in ActionScript's newer version, which is anticipated to be 4.0. That version could have newer features such as method overloading, operator overloading, cast operator, data type switching, multi-line strings, different types which include record types, array types, and union types, and inclusion of one-line methods could also be included in the future version of ActionScript, but it is not yet sure. Hence, in conclusion, what I would like to say is that ActionScript is a vibrant language which should become more familiarized within individuals. in order to create more high quality and rich software, web components, and games for the high industry standards and requirements. Thank you and God bless you.